Ah, Scandinavia, land of breathtaking landscapes, mind-bogglingly efficient public services, and what was it again? Oh yes, IKEA and ABBA, because nothing screams cultural powerhouse like flat-pack furniture and disco music. But hold on to your meatballs, because today we're diving far deeper than the flimsy bottom of your Billy bookcase to explore the real reasons behind the success of these northern stars. From political stability to enviable welfare systems, we're exploring the top 10 secrets behind why Scandinavia just keeps winning. In the thrilling world of international politics, Scandinavia might seem like the kid who sits quietly at the back of the class, but don't be fooled. They're the ones acing the exam without breaking a sweat. The political tranquility of these nations isn't just happenstance. It's a pivotal element of their success. Take Sweden, for instance, which hasn't participated in an outright war since the early 19th century. This neutrality and stability create a predictable environment conducive to economic growth and foreign investment. Now focusing on Denmark and Finland, these countries also boast transparent and efficient governance, which further enhances their appeal as safe havens for business activities. But it's not all about being economically savvy. This stability also attracts talent from around the world, fostering a diverse and innovative workforce. Moreover, their international neutrality allows them to play a unique role in global affairs, often acting as mediators in international conflicts, which in turn enhances their global standing. So, next time you think of political stability, don't picture a boring history class. Think of it as Scandinavia's secret sauce for success. When you hear welfare state, if your mind immediately goes to endless unemployment lines and bureaucratic nightmares, let me introduce you to the Scandinavian remix of this concept. It's less of a state and more of a wonderland. In Sweden, Denmark and Norway, welfare systems are not just safety nets, they're trampolines, bouncing citizens right back into productive lives. These systems are comprehensive, covering everything from healthcare to education, and are funded by, brace yourselves, high taxes. Yes, the citizens actually don't mind paying high taxes because they see the tangible benefits. Imagine that. Moreover, these robust welfare programs contribute significantly to social equality, ensuring that everyone, regardless of background, has access to the resources they need to succeed. This egalitarian approach helps to eliminate extreme poverty and reduce crime rates, making the streets as clean as their energy policies. And let's not forget, happy, healthy citizens are productive citizens, which cycles back to boost the economy. So in Scandinavia, welfare is not just a policy, it's an investment in human capital. Who knew that spending money could actually save you money in the long run? Ah, Scandinavia, a place where the trees are just as dense as the social trust. But why do these northern wonders exhibit such high levels of mutual confidence? It's not just because they love herring. Dive with me into the historical events that have made Scandinavians practically the poster children for cooperation. First, let's rewind a few centuries. Imagine a time when Vikings roamed the seas, not exactly your go-to consultants for community building, right? However, post-Viking era, these societies underwent significant transformations. They shifted from marauding bands to cohesive states that valued collective action over individual conquests. This transition laid the groundwork for a culture deeply rooted in trust. Fast forward to the modern era, and this foundational trust is institutionalized in every aspect of Scandinavian life. From comprehensive welfare systems to transparent governance, the trust that began as a survival mechanism among early communities now underpins the very institutions that define these countries. It's a classic what came first, the chicken or the egg situation, but with more herring and less poultry. Moreover, Scandinavian folklore and historical narratives often emphasize themes of unity and collective success. These stories are not just bedtime tales, but are integrated into education systems, reinforcing the values of trust and cooperation from a young age. It's like if every fairy tale taught you to always file your taxes on time. The impact of these deep historical roots is evident today in the strong civic engagement and low corruption levels seen across Scandinavian countries. It seems that when everyone believes they're in the same longboat, rowing in sync isn't just nice, it's essential. In conclusion, the social trust in Scandinavia isn't just a happy coincidence. It's a centuries-old legacy that has evolved but fundamentally stayed the same. It's less about the survival of the fittest and more about the triumph of the trustiest. Let's talk about Scandinavian education systems, which are about as cutting edge as a Swedish meatball is round. But why are these nations consistently topping the charts in innovation and economic growth? Spoiler alert, it's not just because they have cool accents. Scandinavia's approach to education is holistic and student-centered, focusing not just on academic success, but on developing well-rounded human beings. Yes, that's right, they care about creating actual, nice, functional adults. Shocking, I know. This includes incorporating emotional and social learning into the curriculum, which might just be why Scandinavian teenagers are so annoyingly mature. One key component is the emphasis on lifelong learning. In Scandinavia, education doesn't end with a graduation cap. Instead, continuous skill development is encouraged throughout one's career, which is kind of like having a software update for humans, ensuring everyone stays relevant in a rapidly changing world. Furthermore, higher education is largely free in these countries, which means student debt is more of an urban legend than a common nightmare. This accessibility not only boosts innovation by removing financial barriers, but also fosters a diverse intellectual community. Basically, it's an all-you-can-learn buffet with no cover charge. The results? A workforce that is adaptable, highly skilled, and innovative. These educational foundations contribute significantly to the economic dynamism seen in Scandinavian countries, turning them into veritable idea factories. Except the ideas are about sustainable energy and digital technologies, not assembling flat-pack furniture. In summary, if education were an Olympic sport, Scandinavia would be out there winning gold medals while the rest of us are still trying to figure out where we left our gym shorts. Their secret sauce? A blend of inclusivity, continuous learning, and a holistic approach that other countries might want to start emulating soon. Now let's shift our focus to something Scandinavians love more than IKEA on a Saturday morning: the environment. Indeed, green initiatives in these countries are not just policies, but a way of life. But how do these contribute to their national pride and global standing? Well, buckle up, because we're about to find out. First off, Scandinavia's environmental policies are as comprehensive as they are ambitious. From cutting-edge waste management systems to pioneering renewable energy projects. These countries are like the Tesla of nations, sleek, forward-thinking, and occasionally powered by the sun. Take Sweden, for example, where almost half of the energy consumption comes from renewables. This isn't just good for the planet, it's a point of pride for Swedes who often engage in what can only be described as renewable energy one-upmanship. It's essentially a national sport where everyone wins, especially the environment. Moreover, these green initiatives are deeply embedded in the cultural fabric of Scandinavian societies. Children learn about sustainable living from a young age, which is probably why even 5-year-olds there can lecture you about the importance of composting. Essentially, environmental policy is not just government action, it's a societal movement. The global impact? Significant. Scandinavia's leadership in green technology and sustainable living doesn't just elevate their standing on the international stage, it sets a benchmark for environmental responsibility worldwide. They're not just participating in global discussions on climate change, they're leading them. In conclusion, when it comes to environmental policies, Scandinavia has managed to turn ecological mindfulness into a global superpower. It's an integral part of their identity, as much a part of their global image as Vikings and ABBA, except, with more solar panels and fewer longboats. Work-life balance, a phrase so magical it almost makes you believe you can finish work at noon and spend the rest of the day sipping coffee and petting reindeer. But in Scandinavia, this isn't just a fantasy, it's a well-oiled reality. Here, work-life balance isn't just about leaving the office early, it's woven into the very fabric of society. It's about creating a culture where both work and life are friends, not enemies locked in an eternal struggle for your soul. But how do they do it? Well, for starters, Scandinavia treats work like a marathon, not a sprint. Instead of glorifying the all-nighter, they value steady progress and sufficient rest. This approach not only keeps burnout at bay, but also boosts productivity and creativity. It's like discovering that your productivity increases when you actually sleep. Who knew, right? Moreover, flexible working hours and generous parental leave policies are the norm. In Sweden, for example, parents get 480 days of leave per child, which they can use until the child turns 8. This isn't just good for family picnics, it's shown to improve job satisfaction and employee retention. It turns out people like being able to see their kids grow up. Strange but true, but this balance isn't just about individual benefits, it's a cornerstone of their economic strategy. A happy worker is a productive worker. Companies in Scandinavia get this, and they invest heavily in employee well-being. It's a cycle of happiness that turns workers into better workers and workplaces into less soul-sucking spaces. So, next time you're drowning in emails at midnight, remember there's a place where people don't just survive the work week, they thrive in it. And all it takes is a society that values rest as much as it values labor. Simple, yet revolutionary. When you think of cutting-edge technology, your mind might not immediately jump to the land of Vikings, IKEA, and ABBA, but perhaps it should. Scandinavia has quietly become a powerhouse in the tech world, and how they've done it is both fascinating and a bit of a lesson in humility. No, they're not just using rune stones to predict the next big tech trend, they're actually quite ahead. From mobile technology to green tech, Scandinavia is pushing boundaries. Take Sweden's Ericsson or Finland's Nokia, which have been at the forefront of mobile technology. These companies aren't just surviving, they're thriving by constantly innovating and adapting. It's the technological equivalent of evolving from a Viking ship to a Tesla. But it's not all about big corporations. Scandinavia also boasts a vibrant startup scene. Cities like Stockholm and Helsinki are teeming with startups, fueled by robust government support, and a culture that encourages risk-taking and innovation. This environment makes it a breeding ground for new ideas. It's like Silicon Valley, but with more snow and better social security. And let's talk about sustainability. In this region, technology goes hand in hand with green initiatives. From electric planes in Norway to Denmark's wind turbines, Scandinavia is using technology to ensure that their future is not only innovative but sustainable. They're not just planning to visit Mars, they're making Earth a better place to live. So the next time you marvel at your smartphone or curse your slow internet, remember that there might be a solution brewing in the land of the midnight sun. Scandinavia may be known for its history and nature, but its technological landscape is just as breathtaking. Moving from tech geniuses to global peacemakers, Scandinavia's influence extends well beyond its borders. Known not just for their design and durability, Scandinavians are also some of the world's leading experts in something a bit more delicate: diplomacy. Yes, between designing sleek furniture and winning Eurovision, they also managed to keep the world a bit more peaceful. Scandinavia has a reputation for neutrality and mediation that has made it a respected voice in international peacekeeping. Sweden, for example, has been involved in various UN peacekeeping missions and was instrumental in negotiations between the US and North Korea. It's like being the world's most persuasive mediator, but with better healthcare. Norway, too, punches above its weight in global diplomacy. Remember the Oslo Accords? That was Norway facilitating dialogue between Israelis and Palestinians. It seems that managing to live peacefully with your neighbors in extreme cold has given them unique insights into resolving conflicts. Their diplomatic approach is often characterized by a commitment to human rights and sustainability. These aren't just buzzwords for them, they are guiding principles that influence their foreign policies. It's diplomacy with a conscience, and in today's world that's both refreshing and rare. So, whether it's brokering peace deals or leading environmental initiatives, Scandinavia's role on the world stage is robust. They might not make headlines every day, but in the grand scheme of things, they are the quiet heroes working to stitch the fabric of international relations back together. Welcome to the fascinating world of Scandinavian culture, where every piece of furniture probably assembles with an Allen key, and the global impact is as sturdy as a Swedish meatball on your dinner plate. But let's dig deeper beyond our flat-pack furniture fantasies. Scandinavia's cultural exports stretch far beyond what you can construct from a wordless IKEA manual. From the hauntingly beautiful landscapes that inspire countless films and novels, to the Nordic noir that has us all pretending we're cool enough to pull off a full-length leather trench coat in a non-ironic way. Then there's the music. Oh, the music. From ABBA to Avicii, Scandinavian beats have a way of getting our feet moving and our hearts thumping, proving that there's more rhythm in the Nordic nations than a Viking rowing team. And let's not forget design. Minimalistic, functional, and so elegant designs that have filled our homes and offices, making cluttered spaces a thing of the past. But it's not just about what they create, it's also about how they share it. Scandinavians have mastered the art of storytelling, whether through gripping TV series that glue us to our screens, or through literature that challenges our perspectives. The influence of their cultural narratives can be felt worldwide, shaping global tastes and trends. And perhaps most impressively, they manage to do all this while maintaining a humble approach that is as refreshing as a brisk dip in a Finnish lake. They've exported a brand of humility and innovation that many countries could stand to import. So, as we unpack the impact of Scandinavian culture, it's clear they're not just selling us products, they're selling us a better version of ourselves, one flat pack at a time. When it comes to handling global crises, Scandinavia behaves like the cool, collected cousin who knows exactly what to do when the chips are down. Whether it's environmental challenges, economic downturns, or public health nightmares, these countries seem to whip out a crisis management playbook that the rest of the world doesn't seem to have a copy of. Take, for instance, their proactive approach to environmental sustainability. While some countries are still debating whether climate change is real, Scandinavian nations are already pioneering the next innovative green technologies. They're like the kid in class who finishes their exam in the first half hour and spends the rest of the time twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the rest of us to catch up. Their secret? It's not just about having resources, it's about leveraging those resources wisely. Investing in renewable energy, pushing for electric vehicles, and implementing extensive recycling programs are just a few ways they stay ahead of the curve. And let's not forget their social policies. When a global health crisis strikes, their robust healthcare systems and social safety nets aren't just nice-to-haves, they're essential armor. In terms of economic resilience, Scandinavia has turned adversity into advantage, fostering innovation and maintaining stability. Even when global markets seem as shaky as a Jenga tower mid-game, their economic policies provide a cushion softer than a pile of Swedish down pillows. So as we marvel at Scandinavia's knack for crisis management, we're left wondering if they have a secret Viking potion for success, or maybe, just maybe, they're really good at planning ahead and sticking to their guns. A lesson many countries could learn from as they navigate the choppy waters of global crises. So, there we have it. A whirlwind tour of why Scandinavia keeps winning, from their knack for exporting culture to their masterclass in crisis management. It's almost as though they're showing off at this point. Here's hoping other countries can borrow a leaf from their book. Or perhaps an entire forest of sustainably managed Nordic trees. And while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below? Let us know which Scandinavian success factor you think is the most crucial. Is it their cool cultural exports, their green tech innovations, or their unruffled approach to global crises? We can't wait to hear your thoughts.